So we got a couple very special guests this week on this very special Rail Talk episode on the plane to the Breeders' Cup. And the first one is the man himself. The reason we're here on this plane, he is the man of the owner of the Green Group and the founder of the Green Group, which is on his hat right now. He's the owner and the founder of DJ Stable, who will be at the Breeders' Cup with several live chances. Len Green, thanks for talking to us.
Joe, it's a real pleasure.
It's so good to have you. It's always great to talk to you. It's even better to talk to you on air because you just light up when the cameras are around, and we appreciate that. Before we get into the Breeders' Cup and the race that we're going to be competing against each other, you guys recently announced something new, a charitable investment that you're making at the Facing Tipton Night of the Stars sale. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Joe, again, this is a great sport as well as a great business. And part of it, sure, is the excitement of racing. But most owners have to remember that there's an afterlife as far as the horses. And that should be part of everybody's program. So to bring that to light and to publicize it, okay, we're going to donate a percentage, okay, of Wonder Wheels sale, okay, to the Aftercare programs. And I think it's just a wonderful thing. Anna Ford does a wonderful job with it. And it's our pleasure to spearhead that one.
So you're pledging a percentage of the sales to new vocations?
Yes.
Correct? And then is that going to be sale-wide, or is it just you guys?
Well, we're certainly, Joe, it's a great question. We certainly would encourage, okay, the other people selling horses to say, hey, you know what? Let's not only enjoy the proceeds, but let's give some of it back so that then this organization can take care of horses and give them a second life.
Absolutely, and it's a great initiative for you guys. That was the word I was looking for. Initiative.
Yes.
But yeah, so John, you can talk a little bit about that as well, and how important, how much you guys have supported Aftercare over the years.
Well, I think it's a vital importance. These horses have a life cycle, and they're born. We breed them. They're born into the business. They're raised. They go through auctions usually. They're trained. They go onto their career on the racetrack. And then at some point in time, like all of us, they're told they can't race anymore. And at that point in time, up until really a few years ago, there wasn't a great opportunity for these horses to be to be retired. And so Anna Ford and New Vocations, as well as many other nonprofits that are taking care of horses in their second careers, need money. And I think with all of the new health and safety initiatives that have been incorporated into the business, there have been more and more horses that have been retired earlier than in the past. So it's of utmost importance that these organizations are funded, that they're done properly, and that the horses have a chance to live a great life, because they're going to have another 15 to 20 years on this earth.
Let's talk about sorry, go ahead.
Can you let the pilot go to the bathroom?
Sure.
Introduce him? Yeah.
Come
on through.
Go through.
Come on through. Don't.
Thank you. Part of the show.
Yeah. We got it. It's important to let the pilot go to the bathroom.
I think so.
Do you want to expound on that?
Yeah, I do. John, I agree with you 100% on that, but I think that before these organizations took place, yes, there was a racing career, and unfortunately, from an awful lot of horses, there was also a period where they got slaughtered. Okay, and to me, this is an utmost importance, because we don't want that to continue to happen. We want them to have a second life. And the second life not only includes riding horses, but for disabled people, it's just so many other organizations and people get involved with these things like New Vocation, that I think it's a wonderful cause.
Yeah, and Joe, just to clarify, we've not only spearheaded this new initiative with Wonder Wheel, but we also have another horse in the sale, Goddess Pele, who's a half to Sibelius Grade 1 winning sprinter by Not This Time, and she's selling in full to Epicenter. So both of our horses, both of our entries at Facing Tipton sale are being sold through TaylorMade, and the 1% pledge is for both of them. And I think, thanks to Boyd Browning's, creativity, he actually said their accounting department is going to handle all of the accounting and the debiting of the 1% contribution. So if you're selling a horse and you want to contribute the 1%, it's as easy as checking a box or just letting Boyd and his team know that indeed you're going to go ahead and do it, and they're actually going to separate and cut the check directly to New Vocations.
Let's make this a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm surprised that Len wasn't doing the accounting for that process. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's talk about the horses who are racing currently. You got a horse in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Can Group. You also have Web Slinger on the undercard on Friday. Typical question I would ask of Connections. How are they doing? And just how exciting is it to have a horse in the Breeders' Cup?
It's very interesting. I was on a podcast the other day with West Point, okay, and one of the questions was, how do you become profitable in the horse business? And I said, it's very simple. I said, just win the Breeders' Cup. Or turn around and sell a champion, okay, in the night of the races. And then I guarantee you will be profitable.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's exciting. And, people have been in this business for a long, long time and have never done it. And here I turned the operation over to John. And for the last 5 years, we've been coming out to the Breeders' Cup. And, it's kind of nice. And, people say, well, do you have a good chance? Well, the fact that we're there is a minuscule amount of the horses that are, when you figure a number of horses that are born every year, and to be one of those that's out there, it's less than 1%. So yeah, anybody who's out and running out there has a program. Okay, yeah, luck comes into play, but preparation and strategy and all the things that later on translate into how do you handle revenue agents when they happen to come in. Well, you have a strategy and you have a success pattern, and man, you're going to win almost every time.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's fascinating to me because you've been successful in several businesses, mainly in the accounting business. Are there specific lessons that you learned from running the Green Group that you've transferred over to help you run DJ Stable so successfully?
Yeah, I think you have to be successful. I honestly believe that there are about 3 different things that you have to do, and one of which is you have to find a problem. Well, in the horse business, it's easy. 90% of the people lose money.
Yeah.
100% of the people with tax returns we looked at that are prepared by somebody else, Joe, there are deductions they have missed because they don't understand the industry. So in a sense, it's just kind of easy, okay? Number 2, okay, you got to have the expertise to be able to produce profits, all right? You have to have a great team about you because nobody can do it alone. So here in the horse business, okay, we got a manager, okay, who knows what he's doing, doesn't listen to his owner very much, but he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
He's very selective in who he'll work with, and he's very, very careful as to the trainer and what the trainers are doing and putting horses in the right place. And again, how could you sell Wonder Wheel when my wife named Wonder Wheel? Because this is a business, okay? And you got to do these things in a business-like manner.
Yep.
And then you got to be honest and discreet, and you got to say, hey, I got to care for the people around me. I don't just want to make money. I don't want to just go to the paddock. I don't want to just buy hats for the Derby. I want to be able to say, hey, are we taking care of all the people involved in it, the people in the back stretch, et cetera, kind of thing, and the people in the programs. And I think if you do that, I think luck just runs over you.
Yep. No, good karma for sure, because you guys do a great job, great team, and you take care of everybody from soup to nuts. This is a question for both of you guys on the tax front. We're in the last couple of months of the year. People are starting to prepare for their 2024 tax returns or 2023 returns in 2024. What are some of the things that they should be looking for or focusing on or be cognizant of, at least, when it comes to the horse business right now?
Well, again, the tax laws are set up, Joe, to help you if you understand them. Now, again, who's going to specialize in understanding all the horse tax provisions? Well, it's got to be somebody who actually knows the business. So you say, well, how hard is it to know the business? Well, I think we have 200 horses, okay, and we've won 2,400 and some odd races, kind of thing, and we have the breeding program, and we're in every facet of it. I think you actually know in our firm what is going on and what we're doing. And then we say to people, hey, there's still a window of opportunity to do something with, okay? Because you can buy a horse in November or December and still take the full advantages of that for the year. And people say, well, isn't it less of a deduction? And then don't worry about those kinds of things, because even if you depreciate and take 80% this year, you got 20% as a carryover next year. So again, you take it into your program, you see what you have, especially on mares. Most people don't realize that if you buy a mare in full, there's special deductions you can take in that are not normal if you buy just a mare. So again, it's over and over again, and you have a chance before the year end to form a limited liability company. Well, who cares? There's a lot of extra deductions you get with a limited liability company that you don't get as an individual. So Joe, if you're in this business, why waste the tax deductions?
Yeah, no, and that's what you're there for. And anything to add, John?
And Joe, what a lot of people think is, oh, the most important critical time of tax season is the 2 weeks in April before I have to file. It's really not, because by then you've missed an opportunity to take advantage of any purchases or any depreciation in this year. So right now, the next 3 weeks or so are really the prime weeks for you to go ahead and do some strategy, or go ahead and meet with somebody to talk about tax planning, buying mares, buying weanlings, prepaying for stud fees before year end. There's a whole host of different things you can do, but now is the window for you to do it, because as we all know, everyone, in most businesses, they stop doing business after like the second week of December. So you have these next couple of weeks in November, Thanksgiving week, and then the first week of December, and that's really it. So this is the window that you have.
And also, John, most accountants and lawyers are charged per hour, which is great. That's a standard for the industry. Okay, we say we'll review your returns for nothing, and we'll point out things that you haven't deducted. If you then want to switch, fine. If you don't, at least you'll be in the business longer, because you'll be taking some tax benefits from it.
It did it for me personally. I can attest to that. John, I wonder, is there any question that you want to ask Len that you haven't gotten around to in your 50 some odd years on this planet?
Wow, so many come to mind, Joe. I guess probably the one that's most important to me right now at this moment is, who does a better job at podcasting, son number 1 or son number 1A?
I really like Joe, because he introduces me and says some great things about it. When are you going to start saying some great things about, gee, my dad's a guy who taught me everything, so I'm here today as a result of everything.
When you teach me something, then I will. Then I will definitely, absolutely.
Well, I mean, you teach us all a lot, and racing, business, like, it's just, you're a fount of knowledge, and that's more nice things to say to you, so maybe I can become one, and then John will be 1A eventually.
Yeah, and also, Joe, this show, and again, it does so many great things to educate people, because you're telling it as it is, okay? And people have to hear it as it is, instead of sugarcoating it or centering. Hey, you may not go as far as maybe you guys go, but you know what? You're bringing it to people's attention. You're doing it in a manner they can enjoy watching it. They don't turn you off after a couple of minutes. I think it's well produced. I just think this is worthwhile being part of.
Well, we thank you so much. We could not do the show without you and your support and the support of the Green Group. And it's a natural marriage, because you're so passionate about the game and so successful in it. But you don't have to sponsor it, but we appreciate it, and we always love talking to you. So first, thanks for letting us on your plane. But secondly, thanks for stopping by and being on the show.
Yeah, so finally, if West Point beats us, you're going on the wing going home.
I got a fly commercial on the way back. All right. We'll work that out in a little bit. Rail Talk is sponsored by the Green Group. I mean, you already heard from all three of us about all the services that they can provide. Len's going to find you tax savings. And if not, he'll tell you you're doing a great job. Either way, he'll review your returns. He'll educate, as he does for both of us. And we appreciate Len and the whole team for everything they do for people in the horse business. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, he was on with our CFO at West Point. They both did a great job, and I think educated a lot of people, got some new clients over it as well. So, I mean, like I said, fount of knowledge. We always appreciate Len stopping by, and we appreciate all the work you do in the business. Go check them out at greenco.com. Book a consultation with this man. You won't regret it.